couple more people to talk to.
Greetings. Bridget has much more warmth than Fodlan. Even spring here has coolness. And you, Professor? Which do you find is worst? Too hot or too cold weather?
Personally, I want to say too hot because the thing is, if you're cold, you can always put on another layer of clothing if you're feeling too hot. Eventually, you reach the point where you can no longer take off clothes without being arrested for public indecency. That said, we are hoping to recruit Petra, so we're gonna agree with her.
I have agreements. In Bridget, I am able to be wearing much lighter clothes.
I think she also requires riding rank C, so...
Perhaps. There are way too many vegetables in today's meal. The ratio of vegetables to sweets was completely skewed.
Oh, hi, Professor.
Were you just eavesdropping on me? Well, everyone knows a plate full of sweets is far preferred to a plate full of vegetables, regardless of age.
You know, if you weren't constantly reminding me that you're a kid, I probably wouldn't be treating you like a kid. Seriously.
Right. I've got to find out everyone's likes and dislikes so I know what to cook. Who knows when it'll be my turn at kitchen duty? How about you, Professor? Do you like sweet or spicy food?
Definitely sweet.
Ooh, same. I'll definitely remember that.
I cannot handle spicy food to save my life.
Would you kindly do something for me?
This is another DLC quest. You just go to the library, you collect like 3 recipe books, and then you can come back. So, tantalizing cookbook. An illustrated cookbook, okay. You feel that even you could cook with this. Wow. Wow. Thank you, game. I needed that ego boost. Thank you. Oh, whoops. Which one was that yet? Classic cookbook. Oh, if she is such an experienced chef, I would expect her to already know the classics, but okay. So now we can technically cook.
You're a lifesaver.
And cooking basically increases 1 stat for the rest of the month. We are not going to use that. I have used it once or twice on Maddening, but normally it's not that important. Okay, so now we've got bonding bites, which means these are really, really good for increasing bonds between characters and support conversations between characters. Let me just double check who I actually... What do we look like in the calendar? How many instruction days do we have? We have 2 instruction days, and I can instruct how many people? 3 lesson points. Okay, so I need 6 people motivated. We've got 1, 2, 3. Yeah, definitely need to get the rest motivated. And ideally we want to motivate people we have here, so I actually definitely want to motivate Dimitri, because Dimitri and Dedu are going to be unavailable for teaching for a while in part 2, so you really should focus on those. But we also have Sylvain and Ingrid here, who, if we use them both, we could basically get 2 people motivated in one go. So we're gonna take, if it's possible, no, we're not gonna take that because we want... no. We could theoretically take Ash and Happy, because I want to pair those 2 up. But I also want to motivate Dimitri, so let's go. Let's see, let's start with Dimitri and Marianne. I actually do have a list somewhere in my documents that I can filter to see who would be best to use. Let's see, Dimitri and Marianne. let me see if I can find something that both of them like. So Sagat and cream. Oh, that too, okay. Or the onion gratin soup. Oh, we're definitely going with the onion gratin soup because we have way more of that. So, Dimitri and Marianne, I love you two together, let's go. This will motivate Dimitri and it will also help us get Marianne's support level up.
Oh, this takes me back. I used to love this when I was a child.
I like this dish. It was my father's favorite.
Ta-da! It will help increase the support level between these two, and remember, when we use the free option, it cuts the support points in half, which is why I'm not using the free option. I'm really only using the full menu so that I can basically get the full support points out of this. Now I want to go for Sylvain and Ingrid. Do I have these two together at some point? Somewhere, please. Yes, here. Food and herring tart, fish sandwich, sauteed turkey. Oh, super spicy fish dango. That sounds good. Let's take that with Ingrid and Sylvain. Let's go.
Yeah, you just get it, Professor. This is my favorite.
I appreciate any good meal, but nothing beats enjoying my favorite
Yeah,
food.
there's a lot of like little things that you only learn later or that you don't pick up immediately. And this is one of those things. Also, if you pair up certain people who have specific support levels or just certain characters who go together, you can get special mealtime dialogues. You can get those mostly during... You can look those all up in the Fey data mine if you want. Oh, and we actually have our first support, so let's watch.
That was quite a sigh. What's wrong, Ingrid?
Tell me, Sylvain, what am I to you?
You're my friend. One of my oldest, in fact.
An old friend, is it? Then why must I clean up the casualties left behind by your skirt chasing?
Nobody asked you to do that. Heck, I thought you enjoyed it. Besides, you're real good at it. I'm excited to continue working with you.
Do you mean to imply you have no intention of acting a bit more respectably?
Please don't yell like that. Everybody's staring at us.
When you were 8, you came on to my sweet, sweet granny. My granny!
Come on. I was 8 and she was That was a long time ago.
Okay, so fun fact, there is nobody around, at least that we can see, because the cutscenes are all filmed in this awkward Twilight Zone forced 3D space. The other thing is, this might sound really ew, but then you remember that, you know, this is Fodlan. They probably, it's kind of like a, not medieval, but like pretty old-fashioned, so they probably have children very young. Which means when he was 8, Ingrid was, I think, 6 or 5, because he's like 3 years older than everybody else in the Fargus 4. And Ingrid's grandmother was probably something like 45 years old. You can be 45 and pretty damn hot. So I'm going to give Sylvain the benefit of the doubt here.
Sylvain hit on Ingrid's grandmother? Wow.
People can hear you. Please be quiet.
When you were 10, we went to that harvest festival, and you started making eyes at a scarecrow.
A scarecrow?
In the Japanese, this is not a scarecrow, it's a man dressed like a woman. So, yeah. We cut out the slightly transphobic joke here.
Wait a second. That was just an accident. A tragic, tragic accident.
When you were 15, you sought, relentlessly might I add, to involve yourself with Lord Gwendol's daughter. Who do you suppose made peace with the furious Lord despite having nothing to do with it? Me. Always me, always for you. Every time.
What a jerk. You know what? This conversation is over. I'm done.
My point is that this has to end. Not later, but now.
Fine. I promise I'll try to change. Are you happy now?
we'll actually meet Gwendol later. I think earlier when I recruited Yuri, I said we're gonna meet Ro. That was my mistake. We're going to meet Gwendol, who is in service of Count Ro. We don't actually get to meet Count Ro himself. Okay, I think we're now done. So before we finish this, I always like to basically make another save here, just so that if we mess it up, if we do something that we didn't want to do, we can always come back to this save. But let's finish free time and let's go to lectures for now.
If you don't yet know the proper procedure for lectures, I will tell you all that I know. Assuming that's agreeable to you, of course.
We are going to skip through all of this because I know how it all works. I'm sorry.
I believe, of course, you never know it. Everyone, when that happens, no matter to increase, if it's not, students are by working to. Have you heard? To become a new, needless to, I hope that you will plan.
Alright. So, let's see. We want to instruct, and we want Dimitri. He needs to unlock his hidden talent in writing as soon as possible, please. For the instructions, you always want to focus on people who need a hidden talent unlocked. And specifically, I don't unlock hidden talents for the abilities that they award you at the end. I unlock them if they are in the progression path that I want the character to take for the classes. And I do want to get Dimitri into a writing class, so he really needs to unlock that hidden talent in writing so he can level up writing a lot faster. We have... who else do we have? Mercedes... Oh, Mercedes is actually very important that we level her up, because if we can get her into a D in reason, then she can get more spells. The same for Annette. We're gonna try to get her into a D in faith as soon as possible.
I'll get the next one too.
Now, sometimes if you try to instruct somebody with lower motivation, like for example Ash, who only has like 2 motivation bars, it can happen that they will fail, that they will have a bad result, and then you can either console or criticize them, which the character prefers, and depends entirely on the character. So Felix, for example, would prefer that you criticize him, whereas somebody like Mercedes would prefer that you console them. And if you get it right, you get 1 more motivation bar. But you will never see that if you're just choosing to use people with already high motivation. Now, Ingrid is going to be fine. She already has her D in flying. She's going to get a C in lances in no time, so we don't actually need to instruct her. Felix is gonna have to go into Archer, so I think I probably want to instruct him a little more. Yeah. Oh, I don't... oops, I already ran out of activity points. My bad. So that's gonna be the next one then. Group tasks, we want stable duty. And everybody in this group, in the Blue Lions, except for Ingrid, is going to end up on a horse. So it doesn't really matter who we pick here, but we are going to pick Dedu and Mercedes, because number 1, I want to pair these 2 up and they get support points by doing group tasks together. Number 2, Dedu has a weakness in riding, so he can use every extra boost that he can get for his riding. And Mercedes is like neutral in riding, so she can also use that. The others will get there fast enough, but these 2, really, ideally, I want them to get as much riding support as possible. So let's go. Now goals, he can stick with lances and authority until he gets into riding. Axe and armor, that's good. Axe and bows, yes. Axe and bows, lances and axes, that's good for now. Somebody is making a lot of noise outside my house, sorry. It's like somebody's setting off fireworks or something. Then we have her with faith and reason. Okay. Faith and reason. And we already set all of these. Okay. Perfect. Then we can begin the lecture. Let's go.
There's something I'd like you to tell me.
Oh, and this question at the beginning, if you do get it right, you will get a significant boost in professor points. So this is another reason why I saved before we went here, so that if we get this question wrong, we can reload and we can get the professor points. I enjoy a good ghost story, but I've never seen a ghost in real life. I would love to have that experience for myself, even just once. And Ash is standing next to her. He's terrified of ghosts. It's like, yeah, maybe you need a ritual to summon one.
Oh, of course.
Ta-da! I also had to look the answers up in the beginning, but I've played this game so many times, I know most of them by heart by now. Never been at ease with lance or axes. I suggest that rather than thrusting one of those clumsy weapons into my hands, you help me achieve mastery with the sword. No. We are going to say no to almost all of these requests. The most hilarious ones are when you're already teaching them the thing that they want you to teach, and they basically come to you, hey,
let's go.
I would rather practice faith and reason.
Not too bad.
And then you look at their suggestions, and it's already faith and reason. So you want me to switch you from faith and reason to faith and reason? Am I understanding that correctly? What's wrong with you?
I'm stuck.
I'm a well-oiled machine.
All right, I did actually not pay attention to who got their ranks up this time. So yes, we want to give flowers because we need more support. I did actually not watch who just got level up, so I'm just gonna have to go through this real quickly and see if I need to change anybody's ranks. I don't. Okay. Awesome.